Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please strike the subscribe button and alert bell if you love to watch more unfaithful stories. Wish to find out exactly how to come back your ex-spouse? Inspect the web link in the summary box to learn how. I believe my partner is having an event, however is deleting evidence. This other woman was new to his job around 6 months ago. At the time, he couldn't quit talking about her, starting from the day she entered the workplace. They got on so well, resided in the very same cities, he missed a crucial doctor's appointment. I was pregnant at the time, so thought him, but nothing really of it. It kept going and it was her this or that. There were little signs, like he called all his colleagues by their last name, even his best friends, but it was always her first name, shortened with a nickname. She also became pregnant, and he started giving her my pregnancy items, saying it's what people do to be nice. Anytime I questioned it, he would blow up. He regularly refers to her husband as dumb. He used to invite me to his office, and now it's only when she's not there. There are so many other little signs, it really isn't just one thing isolated, it's like 200 different things that just flag this as a different relationship to his others. He's always given me access to his socials and emails, so I did have a look a few times. The odd thing is there were several messages from him deleted on their Facebook Messenger chat, calls, random messages that seemed to have been in conversations but were deleted. My husband rarely ever gets on the Facebook page, just Messenger, and I remember his adding a bunch of people in December and she was one of them. A few weeks back I noticed they weren't friends anymore on Facebook, which I found odd because he claimed they were such good friends. I questioned him and he blew up again, saying he had no idea. The next day he came home screaming at me that I had ruined his job and he will get fired because he asked her about the Facebook deletion and she apparently started crying. He then told her I was extremely jealous and that's why he's asking, because I had read all of their messages. She cried, said she was just deleting people off her list, even though he, as her boss, was a part of something like this before, and her husband found out. WTF, I don't even know what that means, and that she might ask to move departments because she's uncomfortable in being his boss. He was so mad at me, blaming me. Not only is this story weird as hell, but as if I told this woman I'm jealous. She never moved departments, and he stopped talking about her altogether. Yet he will have to text her about work on his day off when we are at our baby's doctor's appointment, or when I'm Skyping my family. Like, why on earth can he not wait 10 minutes? Also, their job is really not that important, it needs to be done then and there. I dropped the topic of her for a while, but I checked again this morning and his entire Facebook conversation is again deleted, except for her messaging him about how to arrange an appointment for our newborn baby. I tried to retrieve chats from the archives, but there's nothing there. He's so tech savvy, and I have an iPhone, so I don't even know how to look at his phone for hidden things. Yesterday was Mother's Day and he didn't do anything, not even bring me a coffee or tea or a hug, and a good job for being a mom. He disappeared for 2 hours to get diapers and a bottle of expensive scotch for his friend, and came back empty-handed. When I started crying because I just don't know where my husband went, he told me I was being a princess. I've had such a hard time adjusting to new motherhood, extremely exhausted, and this whole thing makes me so upset. If anyone has any advice, please. I'm meant to move countries with him this summer and I don't want to if he's unfaithful. How can I get proof? Here are some of the best comments from our community. You're not in court and don't need proof. The fact is, if you're satisfied that he is at least having or had an emotional affair at minimum with this woman, then you can proceed from there. Most cheaters get really defensive and angry when challenged and turn it back on you that you're the crazy one, which is another red flag in itself. They're cheating. I did it this way up. I had number 100% solid proof, just loads and loads of tiny things that looked irrelevant on their own, but made my stomach turn inside out over time. You don't need 100% proof, you just need to know that how he's treating you is wrong and you want more. That's enough. If you're simply not happy, that's enough. Your husband is abusing you, make no mistake. I feel so heartbroken for you. This is so unfair. He's completely twisting shady and unfair things he's doing around on you. You were carrying y'all's baby and all he talks about is this other woman? Complete BS. That was always a sign my ex was cheating when he'd talk on and on about a chick at work. He'd make me feel like I was treating him badly by asking any questions. Just to find out years later I was right. Your instincts are right. You are 100% justified in every last feeling you have had and with every single behavior you have listed above. Do not let him take that away from you. Do not let him minimize your feelings. Nothing on Mother's Day? Are you effing kidding me? What BS? There is no reason he shouldn't treat the mother of his baby as a princess. Just, no. I've been through what you're going through. I know the heartbreaks and betrayal while having a baby, to be treated with such disrespect by someone that's supposed to love and support me. It's absolutely awful. But know this, you're good enough and strong enough to get through this. You do not have to stay in a situation being treated this way. It can feel scary and impossible to get through, but you do. And you will be much better off and you will be happy someday. Please hire the pie and go the civilian route with a lawyer. The lawyer may even recommend a pie. You need to get out of this marriage, but you need the financial support that you and the baby are entitled to from your awful husband. You can report him after you get everything settled in the divorce. Most likely, when people hear he is getting a divorce and he just had a baby, the spotlight is going to start shining on his life as to why his wife is leaving. I think you should hire a pie. Are you sure the baby she's carrying or was carrying isn't your husband's? You need all this information to move forward, because why would he be having an affair if he is with a woman who is pregnant by her spouse? As a male, I would never talk about another woman constantly in front of my girl. It actually avoids speaking about her at all costs. So the fact he cares so little about your feelings that he's actually inviting you to be jealous just shows he doesn't even care. This is just my view from a male perspective. Hope your situation gets better. You're in a very vulnerable position with a new baby and it's clear that he isn't going to be honest about whatever he's been up to. So I would double down in trying to get other info. That way you can plan accordingly, and if he tries to gaslight you on the way out you won't question yourself at all. Facebook is no good for any peace of mind since they added the incognito chat mode. They also got rid of the ability to download chat history in a way that it would show even the deleted messages. However, does he use Google Apps? Because that might be your shoe-in to get more info. You can log on to his Google account and access his dashboard on your own device if you can get his password and temporary access to his phone to delete the confirmation/permissions to do so. Might be worthwhile to set it up for Google ones to be flagged as spam in case more come through as well. You can also add your fingerprint or Face ID as a backup one on his phone. That way you don't lose access in the meantime. If he used incognito tabs, make it look like all the tabs he had are still there and open but not on incognito. People tend to set it and forget it, so take advantage of that. Regardless, be prepared for Hun to get sneakier, not to come clean, if you let on you have gotten more info or he figures out what you're doing. Cheaters tend to double down when they get caught, and your guy is already trying to do that. When I got put in this position I stayed quiet and gathered information like this for months. And it was the only transparency I gained throughout the whole ordeal. He still won't admit what he's done or the damage he's caused. And even went as far as to cut off any friends he thought knew about it from talking to me, some he had for decades prior. So it was completely necessary. I had a feeling. Devastating, but still talking, trying to figure out what was going on. What a waste. I should have gone straight to a lawyer, not said a word, and have a pie do their job. Instead I did it. Read on narcissistic people. Read on empathic people. And then read on narcissistic/empathic relationships. And then fight for your dignity and child. Your relationship seems broken. Look at what you wrote about Mother's Day. When you asked a very reasonable question, he called you something derogatory. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's due to the new baby. He's exhausted, the crying is constant. Yada yada yada. Even with the benefit of the doubt, you've got a view of his behavior under stress. He won't support you and instead makes it harder. You do not need proof of infidelity or a sliding scale of how bad it was. Is this relationship what you want 5 years from now? Will he denigrate his child when he's under stress? I think you should see a lawyer and get advice on protecting you and your child financially. Most states in the US have no-fault divorces. In my case, my spouse could have had sex on the White House lawn and it had no effect on the issues of custody, child support, alimony, etc. The fact there was no pre- or post-nup cost me a lot of money. The fact he was buying Victoria's Secret underwear for his true love, not me, was a drop in the bucket money-wise. He is definitely emotionally cheating on you with this woman. He has placed her first in his heart and is subconsciously moving away from his relationship with you. Always follow your gut, and if your gut is telling you there is more to it, there probably is. You have to give him consequences for his actions against you, and if that means leaving for a while, then do that. Remove yourself from him for some time so that you both can gain a different perspective and see if anything is salvageable. Communication is the key, and if he doesn't want to be open and honest about his feelings, then be prepared to separate. Don't allow him to keep you in the dark indefinitely. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.